it's Gina at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead of October 18th. So we are finally coming out of Mercury retrograde. It's very exciting. So Monday the 18th around 11:17 a.m. Mercury's going to go direct. So if you've been following, we've been talking about Mercury having moved back, so to speak, in time. And on Monday, it's going to be at the same degree that it was on September 6th. So what was going on in September 6th? That was the new moon in Virgo. And it's in the sign of Libra, the retrograde happened. So where is Libra in your chart? I know for myself, it's been going over the fourth house, the home, transforming relationships, transforming roles that I play in the home. So if you want to know where it's been affecting you, which house, just comment below and I'll respond to you. I just need your birth time. So there's been something going on here. It's been very interesting. It's been pretty intense, I know for myself. It's different in everybody's chart, what planets that it's activating in your natal chart. So for me, Pluto's been activated. So there's been intense changes, hopefully for the better. So we're going to start off this week with this retrograde ending, so things starting to lighten up a little bit. Mercury's going to go back over that whole ground again. This is, even though it's direct, it's still going back over that period of time from September 6th. So here's your redo, and especially in your relationships, how can you renew them? How can you reevaluate, redo what's been going on for the better? So it's a really great opportunity, and it's Mercury, so Mercury wants you to express yourself, express your value, right? Because Venus, it rules Libra, so it's been a lot about your self-value, speaking up about the roles that you play, being kind to yourself, all of those themes going on. So pay attention this week. We have the full moon coming up on Wednesday. It's an Aries full moon. So I wanted to read to you this thing about an Aries full moon, because we're coming out of this time reevaluating our relationships, our role in it, with the way that we speak up for ourselves in it. And this little book, this is from Moonology, Oracle cards, which I'm using for each pile today. But I just want to read a little bit of this to you. It says, it's a fiery climax approaches. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me, me, me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants. But you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little harsh or rash or gone too far or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created this situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. So attune to the moon, be kind, be nice, smile, be polite as you navigate where you want to be. Because remember, Aries is ruled by Mars. It's the planet of action. And it's often called, Aries is like associated with the god of war. So it can be very argumentative. And we know Mars is still up there together with both the sun, a fiery ball, and Mercury also. So Mercury's starting to come out of that stellium together, but the sun and Mars are still very much activated. So there's a lot of fire going on. So this saying, be kind, smile, be polite, is just to avoid confrontation. So being assertive is good, just don't ride over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace, and don't be a baby. It says, sorry, but this could be the issue, because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. So take a look, and it also says you need to have more fun. A full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. So be careful on the internet especially. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you've been too competitive or too blunt. Okay, so that's what's going on with this full moon coming up. And on top of that, we have Pluto making all these aspects. So Pluto is squaring, which is considered an abrasive aspect, towards the sun and Mars, and at some point the full moon in Aries. So Pluto, the planet of transformation, right? It rules death, it rules rebirth, it rules sex, it rules all the deep emotions. And it also is the planet that rules the sign Scorpio. And by Saturday, the sun is going to enter Scorpio right around lunchtime. So we've had this Mercury retrograde in Libra, right? Trying to help us transform our relationships, make sure that we're being kind and loving to ourselves, but then also to those that we're in relationship with. And so we had all that going on. Then we're coming out, and Pluto is here to help us out. It's doing the square, which can be considered abrasive, but if you've heard Sheila Haidt talk about it in her astrology reports, she refers to it as zesting, right? Zesting, just taking off what isn't needed. I think of like getting a pedicure, right? Just like cleaning it up, cleaning up the calluses, getting rid of the things that you don't need anymore so you can move forward lighter. So let's embrace this Pluto energy, because at first I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's a lot. We've been through a lot with Mercury retrograde, and now we're coming into this Pluto square. But it's there to help us. It's there to help us clean up anything else that needs to go as we move into Scorpio season, which is going to help us do our deep work also. We do have the moon making a trine with Venus at the beginning of the week, so that's more of a lighter aspect. And so there's all this beauty that you can bring into your home life, a lot of love you can bring in. And so use this time to make your home more beautiful by cleaning up any negative energy that could be there, the way that you're interacting with each other. And be open to a new start, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it is fresh energy coming in. Just try not to be a baby. So what else do I want to tell you? At some point, the full moon in Mars is going to be in opposition to the full moon, is going to be opposition Mars. So we're going to have a full moon in Aries opposition Mars, which rules Aries. So there's like this, because Mars is a sign for male, and then the moon is very feminine. So there's kind of this push and pull, this putting energy out versus receiving. And so finding a balance there so that it's not just war. Finding a nice soft balance. Where's the middle? Okay, so we talked about Scorpio. So we know that the moon's going to start us off this week in Aries. It will be in the sign of Aries by Monday morning early. It will be there Tuesday and Wednesday, going into the full moon at 10:57 a.m. And this cool moon calendar, I love. We sell these at the shop, these witches' date books. And it talks about this being called the Ivy Moon, and that it's a wonderful opportunity for ancestor magic. And Scorpio does rule the house of our ancestors. So this is a perfect moon for calling in support from our ancestors and accepting the help. So more of the whole theme of caring for ourselves, receiving the help that we need. And then this full moon wants to think about receiving from our ancestors. So it talks about maybe writing a letter to your ancestors and then burning it safely in a cauldron or bowl. The full moon would be a great time for that. So do something fun to celebrate the full moon. Maybe get your crystals out, get some things cleared under the charge, get your moon water out. Listen to the moon water video if you don't know about making that. We have it on YouTube. Okay, there's so much that we could keep going on and on about. There's some Saturn. There's still some trines going on, and yeah, but I'm not gonna. I've talked your ear off enough. So I want to jump into the cards, but I just want to say that the week will start off very intensely. A lot of forward-moving energy, especially as Mercury's moving forward. Jupiter's going direct also. Then we're going to go into Taurus moon by late afternoon on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The last video I had talked about purchasing something beautiful yourself, almost like a commitment to yourself, the relationship with yourself. And when the moon's in Taurus, it's a great time to buy jewelry. So think about that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then by Saturday, the moon will enter Gemini early in the morning, and the sun's going to go into Scorpio. So I love Scorpio season. I think it's going to be a fun one. All that deep emotion, it's ready to come up, be useful, be helpful. And then the moon in Gemini And Gemini's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury's finally direct. So information's going to come in easier. We still have that shadow period because we're going back over that path that we've already been over before twice now. So it's not completely direct, but it will be lightened. So let's talk about picking your pile. We have pile number 1. I'm using these Moonology cards. This one's called just the full moon in general. And it says surrender to the divine. So that's pile 1. Pile 2 is the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. And pile 3 is the cardinal moon, because Aries is a cardinal sign. It leads off the season, right? So even though this is an Aries full moon, we're not in Aries season, but anyways, it's a cardinal moon. So be bold and make the first move. Pile number 3. So go ahead, pick your pile, and let's jump into these cards. Pile number 1, surrender to the divine, full moon. All right, let's see what you need to know this week ahead. Got a bunch of decks here. Look at all these. All right, let's see what you need to know. We are starting off with the Magician. Way to start it off, pile number 1. Love this card. Okay, I think of the Magician as Scorpio. We're going into this Scorpio season. It almost looks like he has his full moon altar going on. He's making his magic. Oh, I love that there's red roses all over the top. I was feeling that today. So anything is possible. It's card number 1, Major Arcana number 1. Aries is the first house of the zodiac. Something new coming in. You can make something new happen. Things are moving more in your favor now. More planets are going direct. And Pluto is there to be a helpful friend. And I know Pluto doesn't sound like a helpful friend, but it removes things that we no longer need and clears things up for us. So, you know, take it. It wants to help you. Here's the Knight of Wands in your heart position. This would be an Aries Knight, but it's a woman. I love that. Okay, so really passionate. I'm playing the hand drums. Let's use this energy properly. It's exciting. It's fun. Let's not make it combative. The Wheel of Fortune. This deck, this is the Witch's deck. It says the Wheel of the Year. That's what they call it here. Card number 10. 10 is a 1 in numerology, right? 1 and 0 is 1. So you've got 2 1s, really. The Wheel of the Year, all the seasons. We're coming into this beautiful fall season. We're going to start heading into winter here in New England soon. The wheel wants you to surrender. You only have so much control, but it's Jupiter and it wants to expand your world. Let's let it do that. Let's not get in the way. All right, on the foundation, we have the Chariot. So you're starting off with 3 major arcanas here. The Chariot, card number 7, your spiritual path, wanting to pull you forward in life, trusting your intuition, trusting, feeling. Going into Scorpio season, Scorpio is feeling, deep, deep feeling. And so trusting that and not being afraid to travel into some of those feelings and help release a little bit. Connecting with the ancestors, helping heal some of the pains that we carry from our ancestors. Here's the Ace of Swords, talking about how we have the 10, now we have the 1. Ace of Swords, something new. It's coming in the background. Swords is air, communication, very much Mercury affiliated, and Mercury's going direct. New things are starting to come in. Here's the Emperor, sitting on Mars, right? And there's a lot of Mars energy going on. Pluto is going to be square Mars and the Sun, because Mars and the Sun are really close together right now. And so both Mars and the Sun are like, take action, right? And almost want to fight. But he's sitting there, he's calm, he's waiting. He makes his move when he wants to. He's not going to be pushed around. Okay, in your future position, we've got the 2 of Wands here. They are arm wrestling. They're power struggling. So 2 in your relationships. right? But that's like a game. But are they going to step away from it and still be upset with each other? So have fun with the dynamic energy, but don't let it turn into fighting. Here's the Eight of Water, Valerian. This is the herbal, what is this? The Herb Crafters Tarot. Love this deck. And so Valerian is so calming, right? It's in a lot of sleep blends or tea mixes. It's the Eight of Cups. An Eight of Cups is usually seen as somebody walking away from someone or something. And so you need to walk away from anyone who wants to argue and fight with you, especially on the internet. I feel like that's just like such a coward's way of fighting. So there's your tea, there's the moon, the full moon there, just kind of basking in it, enjoying it. So your solution this week is to go off, make yourself some tea, step away from the chaos, and enjoy the full moon energy without it being a negative thing. Have it be a wonderful, beautiful, recharging. I'm just realizing that my shirt is like a full moon here. We just got these in. They're so fun. So use this like properly. This is great time. This is awesome. Let's just not let it go out of control. The fire going out of control. Stay grounded, stay clear, stay cool, stay hydrated. Okay, so let's see what else you need to know. I want to work with the relative oracle here, but I feel like there's a couple more cards, so I'm going to use the Black Cat Tarot, see if we have anything else that you need to know this week. We've got the Ace of Cups. Oh, so cute. And the Emperor again. Look at this Ace of Cups. The family is like watching the kids swim in the cup. Looks like a hot tub. And so it's an ace of water. You've already had the Ace of Swords. You had the 10 here, which is a 1. You had the Magician, that's a 1. And the whole vibe of Aries to me is a 1. It's the first house. So savor in the good times, the excitement. Aries is passionate, fiery, fun, energy. Use it right. And then the Emperor's here. It's your second time getting him. Look at him. You may have to make some decisions. So you may have to play, what's the word I'm looking for? You're like kind of like the boss. You might have to oversee things and be like, okay, that's enough. We're not going to have that argument. No, that's not going to help all of us. There's like, you have to be in charge. And sometimes you have to be in charge of saying, enough, downtime, let's go have some fun, let's cool it down. And they're kind of swimming, just kind of cooling down. So keep it cool. Have fun with all this amazing fire energy. Take advantage of these Pluto squares to allow the things that aren't working to be calloused off in a way, you know, just kind of taken off, cleaned up, lighter, and move forward. Okay, let's see what we've got. I want to pull a couple oracles here for you. Tribe. Comedy, tragedy. Yeah, it might be a good time to like watch some movies, have some fun, watch some adventure movies. Let's not make it a tragedy. And here's Tribe. And I was talking about it being a good time. It's, you know, with the Ivy Moon idea and communicating with your ancestors as we go into Scorpio. So I've been having a great time on Ancestry.com lately. But something like that, connecting, knowing that there's a bigger picture here, knowing that you come from a long line of ancestors, and you know, that might feel like, oh, well, that was so long ago, but it runs in your veins. It's there, and you can connect with them. So use this time, use this full moon, write them a letter, burn it safely, and send it on its way to them. Okay, especially the women. This is a whole group of women here. All right, let's do some dice. We've got the Sun in Capricorn in the 6th house. Okay, the Sun, your life force. Capricorn, very much about hard work. It's the house of career, your long-term success. And then the 6th house is more the house of like your job, your house of service, of your health, of wellness. So making sure that you are not too much in the role of always working, that like we were saying, there has to be fun too, and you need to find that balance. And this Libra season was trying to teach you about balance. And yeah, it's not always 50-50, but how do you take care of yourself? How do you still love yourself enough? And in these relationships, and especially work is a relationship, so making sure that you're taking some time. I'm just seeing this cup of tea, savoring it, the drums, playing it, the arm wrestling, having fun games, comedy, tragedy, enjoying a movie, enjoying, just chilling, relaxing, enjoying it all. And so that we're not so, right? Because Saturn, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn's like this, keep going, keep working, this is what we do, keep producing. And it's like, no, we need some relaxation, we need some fun. So use this fire energy to have some fun. All right, let's do some letters. Got our Scrabble letters here. And let's see what we've got. And I'm going to do a couple charms because it has some more letters in here. Okay, I've got an L. Charm was, on the Magician fell a piano and a measuring tape. We have a goblet of wine over the Knight of Wands and a little joker. So there's definitely some fun and some like good times, parties to be had. The number 74, which is my birth year, that's kind of fun. And here's the moon. We've got a Monument Valley coin here over the Ace of Cups. And let's see, a bird and a shell and a castle and a tree of life. Okay, so we got the L. I already see the word lust. That feels so Aries. Lust. And that Knight of Wands here with her playing the drums really feels like she's using that lust to just like live big, be herself, have a great time. Let's see what else we've got. I've got a Q, a G, I, G, gone, the word gone, lust gone. Okay, well maybe this is a good time to spark it up. I've got, what other? I've got the word fib and the word pick, P-I-C. And so I'm going to let you play with this, but it's coming up, pick, fib, lust, gone. And to me, it's like this is a great time to fire things back up. There's a lot of fire energy. So if you feel the lust has been gone in your relationship or the drive that you have in your own self, Pluto rules Scorpio, right? That rules sex. So let's use this time to get passionate in our life again. Bring some passion back into our life. Maybe we've been lying to ourselves that we don't need that. And I don't believe that. We all need that. We all need some passion energy, whether we use it sexually or we use it to create beauty or we have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, so I'm going to take a picture of this. You can see if you can make anything else out of these letters, and have a great week. Pile number 2. We have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. All right, let's see what you need to know this week ahead, this fiery week ahead. Lots of Pluto aspects wanting to help change our lives. We definitely have evaluated our role in our relationships, especially the one with ourselves. And Pluto is going to help us out this week to really get that finally cleaned up, shining. All right, let's see what we've got. We're starting off with, this is a little tough, this deck for me, because I don't know exactly how to pronounce this. Curandara of Fire, and the plant is Damiana. Look how beautiful that looks. It really looks almost like a full moon ceremony. I'm just going to look it up because I get a little tripped up when they change the names of the suits. But these are, let's see, we have, in this deck it goes Page, Hija, Knight, Adelita, Madre. Okay, so this is the King of Fire, King of Wands, Damiana, and it says, love yourself, old ain't dead. Indulge yourself with sensual bliss. Come home to pleasure, power, and passion. And it's I'm not going to read it all to you, but it's funny how much like these roses kind of came into this without even thinking, and they came up in pile number 1, and it seems like there's a lot of sensual energy in the air with all this Aries, Mars, right? Full moon, fiery, and then all this Pluto aspects. Again, it's rules Scorpio, which rules sex. Now let's see. It says, restore exhausted dreams and pleasures. Make Damiana incense to awaken your spirit. Or I'm sorry, awaken your senses. Honor your inner power. Build a self-love altar and create a sensual ceremony. So that's what was going on here. Indulge in passionate bliss. Make Damiana chocolate liqueur. Share it with a lover or keep it for yourself. Okay, so we definitely know that it's hot and spicy. All right. There's that again. Very beautiful. Kind of a fiery climax approaches. Hey, it sounds fabulous, but let's not let it burn out of control, because we know that the out of balance, it can get, it can argue. So let's use the passionate energy properly. Let's use it in our relationships, our love relationships. Let's use it in our creative relationships, with our art, with our life. Passion to live our lives the way we want to. Passion with ourselves to live the life that we love. We have the 4 of Wands here. Look at that fire circle. Great time on this full moon to have a nice big bonfire. Now that's my plan. All right, joining together, taking a pause. It's a 4. So it's a pause, enjoying. They put the wands down, they form together, they group together. Common, I am, Aries. Getting together with those who you have things in common with. Here's the shadow side, which is the Devil card coming in there. And so the Devil, you know, I think of it like all those things we keep hiding in the darkness, the things that we feel shameful about, the things that we guilt, shame, blame, all that dark stuff. And it's like, okay, now's a good time to release that. And a fire ceremony is a great way to release that. So maybe you can write that down. You know, we're talking about making the list for your ancestors and burning it and sending it to them. But maybe for you, you need to write down some things that don't serve you anymore. Throw them in the fire. If you don't have a fire pit access, do it over a toilet. Light it and flush it. Safely, of course. Okay. Foundation, you've got the 4 of Wands again. Look at this celebration. So 2 of the same cards coming up for you. This one was supporting the heart of the matter, which was the King of Fire, that passion ceremony. And this is coming in on your foundation. Gathering together, celebrating, not arguing, celebrating. Celebrating the freedom from the things that are lingering in the dark corners. Here's the Emperor. He came up twice in pile 1. Here he is in pile 2. So you might want to wear red this week. The Emperor, he's ruled by Mars, planet of action. We know Mars and Mars is going to be opposite the moon at some point on the full moon. So there's going to be a lot of push and pull, male, female. And the Emperor's just there. He's in charge. He's just sitting on his throne. He's making the decisions he needs to make. He's card number 4, and you have these 2 4s and this one. So that's interesting. All right, let's see what else we've got. We've got the Knight of Pentacles on his way, searching for what he wants, what's of value. And it's being placed next to the Devil card. So it wants to be, some things need to be left behind. They're not of value anymore. We've got the 3 of Pentacles in your future position and the Justice card. So here's the 3 of Pentacles, kind of reviewing these plans. And the Justice card, Libra, right? So this is our last week. It's not a full week, but it's like 6 days in Libra. And so the sun being in Libra, I'm sorry. And so all this energy in Libra, we're going to start shifting more and more over to Scorpio. And so this is the final balancing. This is the return of Mercury retrograde, going back in the sign of Libra, back over the same ground. How are you going to do it this time? She's got her eyes covered, so going within and then redoing, and kind of attention to the details. What's the big picture? How do your plans need to be adjusted this time, right? How can we do it better? Okay, so basically I see a lot of celebration for you, pausing, celebrating the full moon. You really might want to do some kind of ceremony. If it's just putting beautiful flowers and candles out and your moon water to charge outside, that might just be what it is. Or maybe you'll gather with some friends and have a nice bonfire. And maybe you'll write that note to your ancestors. Or maybe you'll just write a list of the shame and the things that you don't want to take with you anymore and burn that. Maybe you'll do both. But I hope that you'll celebrate and enjoy this passionate time. Make the most of that. Bring that into your relationships. And kind of spark things up. Not so much dullness, but avoid conflict. It's not worth it. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more cards. I feel this elemental wisdom deck calling me here. So let's see if there's anything else that you need to know. Oh, that's too many. I'm putting those back. Okay, let's see. Just a couple cards. What else you need to know? The Four of Coins, so another four. We had Four of Wands. We had Four of Wands twice. We had the Emperor, and now we have the Four of Coins and the Empress. Okay, so he's pausing there. So there's a lot of like pausing energy, but it's not pausing like go to bed and do nothing. It's like pausing and taking it in and celebrating what you have. He's sitting in a library. He's got all his pentacles. He's taken his crown. Looks like he's taken his crown off, put it to the side. And he's just kind of taking in everything that he has. So celebrating, a full moon is a great celebration of how all the good things that are happening in your life. And the Empress is here to remind you that there's a lot of beauty. A lot. And remember, we're starting off the week with the moon in a trine with Venus. So a really positive aspect, bringing, I think of, the moon being like the home, the nurturer, the mother, and then Venus, all the beautiful things. And so really savoring what you have, because I'm sure we all have far more than we realize on a daily basis. Okay, let's pull a few oracles, see what we got for you. Relative oracle deck. And which one wants to work with you? Let's see. This one, Wise Guy. There's been a lot of humor in these cards, I feel like a lot of fun. And Silver Spoon, this is kind of coming in reminding you that you have it kind of made. Just to remember all the ways that you have it made, I guess. And Wise Guy, I mean, he wants to have some fun. So use the Aries energy the best you can for the most fun you can. The first pile came up with like watching some movies, some good, maybe some adventures. Wise Guy definitely, like I'm sure he's had a lot of adventures, so that could be really fun to do. I feel like I need to pull a couple more here. Seance. An opportunity. Okay. So it's kind of going back to the whole thing about like writing that letter to your ancestors. There is an opportunity here. There's, she's the new doors opening. And Aries is the first house of the zodiac, a new definition of who you are. I feel like coming out the other side of Mercury retrograde, I know for myself, I feel like I have a different relationship with myself. I feel that I really do value myself more, and if I expect others to do it, it starts with me. And so that's what I'm seeing for you, is like this new door opening. Okay, what have you learned? What else needs to be transformed? You're going to be so much shinier. It's like that pedicure. You feel so good when you leave, right? All cleaned up, lighter, and maybe not so afraid to show off your feet. Okay, so let's roll some dice. We got Pluto in the sign of Cancer in the 6th house. That's funny. The pile one was the 6th house also. So Pluto, here he is. He's letting you know he wants to help you out. He wants to help zest your life, not just square it, right? Not cause you opposition, help you transform. Pluto in the tarot deck rules the Judgment card, the dead rising up, things from the past being released. It's ready. You're ready. It's in the sign of Cancer, which is nurturing, loving, mother energy, home life, all that kind of stuff. And the 6th house of your house of service, house of health. And so there's something there about overgiving that needs to change now. There's something there about giving more to you. Okay, so I'm going to do some letters. These Scrabble letters have ended up being so much fun. I was a little unsure at first. Okay, I'll do a few charms. I have more letters in them. Okay, we've got letter D. Then we got 6 here. Let's see. We'll start up here. We've got a moon and a heart, a tree of life, and a king sign that fell over this king of fire up here. So let's see, we've got a mermaid on the Knight of Pentacles. On the devil, we had a few things fall out. We've got a horse and buggy, a measuring tape, a sun, and the little angel. So a lot of energy there. Kind of like the measuring tape, like, okay, what exactly is going on here? How much space is this guilt and shame taking up? Wanting to shine some light on it, move past it, and it looks like you do have some angelic help with that. Got the letter N that fell out. Oh, I think that was just here. Okay. Monument Valley coin here, such a special place. All right, let's see what we've got for letters. The first word I see is neat, N-E-A-T. We've got an X. We've got the word done, D-O-N-E, done. And let's see, I've got the word day. And the word in. Okay, and then the word yin. Yin day. Okay, so yin, right? Opposite of yang. Yin is like expansive. I think of it as relaxing. I think of fruit as very yin, or alcohol is very yin, although it turns to its opposite, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yin is like taking some downtime. Yin day, you need to relax. I want you to have that bonfire. I want you to have some nice time. I want you to have a ceremony. Even if you do it by yourself, just savor it. The word neat, done, maybe you're a little bit obsessed with keeping things neat. 6th house, Virgo's house, can get really stuck in the details. And maybe that's done now. Maybe you're going to find a new way to work with that. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of this. You can see what letters that you can make with this, and have a fabulous week. Okay, pile number 3, we have be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. So we know Aries is a cardinal sign. It starts off the spring season. So any of those really strong energy pushing forward are the cardinal signs. Okay, so let's see what you need to know. This full moon week ahead. Thank goodness we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, but it's not over. And Pluto wants to be our friend this week and help us transform our lives even more. So let's accept its friendship and let it be used positively for change. Okay, let's see what you need to know. You're starting off with the Page of Swords, kind of young energy, picking up this sword of communication, right? And hopefully hitting a home run there. And really putting out what you need to say. Knowing that Mercury's still in its shadow period, but that things are starting to move direct. But going over that same old ground from September 6th. So what needs to be handled, resaid, renewed, all those things. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles here. So we said the Page was young energy and Ace is a 1. Something beautiful, something new. There's a lot of like this newness energy, and Aries is the first house. It's the spring season. The full moon is always in the opposite sign that the sun is in. So the sun is still in Libra, which is about relationships, and the whole Mercury retrograde was about relationships. It was also in the same sign. And so opposite to that is Aries, which is singular, which is really about yourself. So there's this new way now as we come through this that you look at yourself and especially yourself in relationships. We have the Six of Cups here. Very lovely, reminiscent, sweet energy going on, supporting this Ace of Pentacles. And you've got the Death card here on your foundation. And I think this is one of my new favorite Death cards because look at the boredom on his face. He's like, okay, same old job, same old every day. And pile 1 and pile number 2, we both rolled 6 for Virgo's house of your everyday job. And this kind of reminds me of that. Ho-hum. Okay, but Pluto's there. It wants to change things. It wants to help you. It wants to clean things up. It wants you to embrace that. So maybe some old feelings from childhood. Aries is the baby of the zodiac. So maybe some of our childish ways, we're ready to clean that up a little bit and show up in a new way. This beautiful Nine of Water, peach, so calming. So beautiful in the background. You've got the Magician. More Scorpio. Looking at things in detail. And I'm putting it here next to the Six of Cups. So he's kind of like, he's holding this magnifying glass. And he's kind of really examining. And it's coming in next to this reminiscent card. So kind of just examining maybe your childhood a little bit. It is Aries. And kind of being ready to let go. Take the sweetness forward with you, and maybe it's time to leave back some of those things that no longer serve you. I've got the Star, which is all about hope, and she's kind of pouring out what she doesn't need anymore so she can shine brighter. It's almost like a purging, and I see that there's some old emotions from childhood that just, you're ready to move on from them. I believe this is the Queen of Wands in the Black Cat deck. And so there's some beautiful, she's making these metal roses. Roses have been a theme today. It's funny that I have some here. And so she's just really forming this beautiful rose and hammering it. So it's been through the fire. It's been through all this process of hammering, of heat to make something beautiful. And so you went through a lot. And now there's something beautiful being made. This old stuff made you this beautiful being that you are now. And you're ready to move on from that, a lot of this old pain. There's a softness coming in here. Be bold and make the first move was your card at the top. So it's like, be bold and be ready to move past this stuff. Be open to Pluto helping you transform this week. So, you know, I had talked in the beginning about writing the letter to your ancestors and burning it. And that's something that you could do, but what might be more beneficial for you is to write down some of the things that you no longer are going to accept anymore, some old feelings that you don't want to carry around anymore, especially from childhood, and burn those. And so, again, you can do that over a bonfire, or you can do that over the toilet and flush it. Okay, so let's see what else. Is there anything else you need to know this week? We've got the Two of Cups. Ooh, that looks nice. Two of Emotion. And, you know, we were talking about how Aries energy, you know, used properly is really passionate. So get out there and enjoy some relationships and go do stuff, especially ones where, especially the sexual opportunity relationships. If that's something that you're open to, then it's available for you. Here's the Ace of Cups also. If that's not something that you're looking for, or it can just be passionate energy that you will receive satisfaction from, about maybe some plans that you have, or something that you want to create, something that you want to be in relationship with. And so this energy is available for you. Now, if you're already in a relationship, this is a great time to put some fiery zest into it, savor it, take some time out, enjoy each other, especially around this full moon. Okay, there's the Nine of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and I feel like I'm going to pull one more for you. Five of Wands. Okay, so you just got to make sure that you're like, there's like a rigidness or an argumentativeness. There's an option here. You can go one way or the other. I would choose the more loving, sensual way. Use the energy properly, or you're just going to get burnt out and tired. So remember, like this Page of Pentacles looking at this beautiful coin, remember the zest that you had when you first got together. Remember the zest for life that you have. Remember the zest for the projects that you're working on that you still have. And kind of setting aside all this chaotic arguing energy, because it's there, it's going to be available, but I would just pass, reject it, use that energy for passion, and enjoy this week. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few oracle cards. Anything else? I've got the addiction card falling off. Defense. Loyalty. Okay, the addiction, it's almost like, I feel like it's more of an addiction to the arguing. That's how I'm seeing it. There's a defensiveness here, and it kind of reminds me of this a little bit. And then there's this loyalty card, being loyal to yourself, being loyal. The dog is so loyal. And also, like, this is a dog that could really hurt you if it wanted to. And I'm sorry, I'm just seeing something different in the reflection of this card. Yeah, it's almost like, I'm almost getting the vibe that, like, you feel disloyal if you bring up, like, you're caught in a pattern, and there's like almost like a sense of disloyalty to breaking it. And I think that there's something there that you need to look at. Okay. I'm just going to pull one more about that. The Four of Swords. Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, I'm just getting this feeling like you learned maybe from your mother, or from almost like this sadness of like a woman's role being like sad, and loyalty would make you not speak up or say what your true feelings are. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And that has to change. That's like, it feels sticky. So let Pluto help transform that. It's time. You're ready. Okay, let me roll the dice here. Saturn, the sign of Cancer, in the 7th house. Okay, so Saturn, that strictness kind of goes back to this defensive, this 9 of Wands, slightly a little bit of this addiction card. And so that needs to soften, because Cancer, the sign Cancer, the nurturing, and then it's that mother energy again too. And I think there's something here, like what you learned between your mom and your dad is affecting your relationships now, your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others. So that is ready to transform. This whole thing about like this sadness that's almost like a role that you learned, that's ready. It's ready to go. And so, and you're ready to do it. All right, let me do a few Scrabble pieces. And so one of them fell. That was the letter L. Let's see. L and M. Let me move these down here because I want to pull a few charms too. G went way up there. Where are my charms? Okay. The mermaid came flying out and landed on the Ace of Pentacles. Little mermaid here. Oh, the baby fell out right over Page of Swords. Talking about childhood a lot. There's also a king that fell out there. And so it's time to mature. That's what it's saying. Those old things, it's time to move past those. Number 55. We've got an A we're going to add over here. We've got a clear quartz and a sun that fell on addiction, and the 5. And 5 we know is associated with change. So you're ready to change this addiction. I'm not really seeing it as like an alcohol addiction. I'm seeing it as like a poor me addiction. It's time to shine some light on that. And clear quartz wants to help you clear it out. Here's another G. And an H and an L. We've got a little teddy bear and an infinity sign here, almost implying like being stuck in those childhood ways. There's a letter, like a letter from someone on the Nine of Wands. The moon fell out over the Five of Wands. Okay, so let's see what words we have here. I've got, oh, that's a blank one. We can use that how we want. Okay, I have the word mend, M-E-N-D, and the word, well, let's see what else, L-A, the word late, and two G's. Well, I have the word haggle, using our blank one, H-A-G-G-L-E, and I'm going to put, and the word bib. Okay. So it's late mend, haggle. So haggling, right, you're going to try to find, like, negotiate to mend something. It's not too late. It's the word bib. It might be messy. It kind of goes back to the child thing again, wearing a bib. It's not too late. You can find mutual ground and mend something that needs to be healed, whether that be in yourself or with others. Find a way to make it work. You're ready. So have a great week.